Hi. So yes, we will continue to support the Bristol Women's Commission, a commission of huge significance in the city, and the first commission, really, the first mayoral commission that was launched, and the model's been taken forward on other issues as well. But absolutely, we really welcome the work of the commission on zero tolerance, essential to building the kind of city we want, a city of hope. The training for businesses to identify and challenge violence against women and girls, absolutely essential, and has been stitched into the wider city approach. And we'll continue to look across the city at funding for violence against women and girls initiatives, and bringing forward the latest round of impact funding to support community-led initiatives in this area as well, in all part of improving the city's health and well-being. So our Domestic Violence Commission Principle 6 says, in every corner of our city, we will work to eliminate sexual violence and abuse. So we've really, 26 or so organisations worked on that overhaul of the Mayor's Commission on Domestic Violence and Abuse. That is central to what we do now. We do know that incidents of domestic violence have increased during the pandemic. Home is not the safest place for everyone, and we've made it a real priority through this work. So our manifesto includes a commitment to ensure domestic violence victims are always safely rehoused and offered appropriate support and security measures. And we're working really hard with our whole housing structure processes to make sure that. On safety at night as well, it's worth knowing that in keeping people safe, we've appointed Carly Heath as our nighttime economy advisor. This is about the strength of the nighttime economy. It is about the safety of the nightclub. It's about health. It's about terms and conditions and employment. All issues of critical importance to women's safety, whether they are customers at night or workers at night, and that will be central to what Carly's done. And we're already making connections between herself, and the police. On SEVs, I've been open in my support for a nil cap, taking some stripes for that. But what I've also been making clear is that this is a licensing decision. And it will be down to that cross-party licensing board to make that decision ultimately. But the consultation we go into will put the evidence on the table, and hopefully, the evidence I've seen will be before them. Any other people want to bring other evidence, but the evidence will be there, and they will then have the opportunity to make their decision. And I hope that they make the right one. So the Fawcett Society obviously found that women were more likely to lose work during a pandemic. We know that they were also disproportionately impacted by austerity, as well. I think putting that kind of hard data evidence on the table is always incredibly helpful. I also particularly welcome the Women's Commission's report into inclusive post-COVID recovery, how we rebuild when all these forces that are compact that will drive us towards increasing inequality are let loose. How we rebuild inclusive is going to be our huge challenge. So we know we need to invest in childcare and social care infrastructure. That is as good as physical infrastructure for enabling women to get back into work. We also know the change will start home here in Bristol City Council. And, I'm pleased to say we have the most inclusive, diverse political leadership the city's ever had. Never less than 50% of women in our cabinet, which again makes a massive difference, even subconsciously, to what leadership actually looks like, but certainly how it thinks. So Councillor Kai Dudd and the Transport Board have convened a meeting of major transport stakeholders, GWR, taxi drivers, Bristol Transport Police, on the very issue of women's safety in transport and experience of transport. The Combined Authority now have responsibility for buses, but this is something we'll continue to raise with them, and I'm sure they'll be open to take it on, because, to be perfectly frank, it just makes sense. But having compulsory safeguarding training through our licensing teams for taxis and private hires, and trying to work with South Gloucestershire so that drivers licensed outside of Bristol work to the same standards is going to be, continue to be a core part of what we do. That cross-border relationship is one that's really important to us. And our manifesto includes a commitment to work with transport groups and emergency services to make sure our transport is safe and suitable for women.